You are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a buddy. Come on, Peter Tingle. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
What up, Cameo?
What it do, Bradio?
I am Bradio. Your podcast daddy-o.
There you go.
Yeah, I like it. Man, we've been on a break.
Yes.
We were on a couple week break. No, we didn't even plan it. We didn't plan a break. We just had a few things happen. Rest in peace to my dog Cujo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cujo was so nice.
She
so
was.
Sweet.
Everybody was always like, why did you name your dog Cujo? Like, that's the scariest dog in the world. And I was like, well, that's the point. Like, when I say, when people hear me say, Cujo, come on in, they're not going to want to come into my yard.
Right.
They're not want to come to my house. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And that's the whole idea. I don't want anybody in my yard or coming to my house. Like, I don't even want people visiting my house. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, but every time I visited, it was cool.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Cujo isn't going to attack nobody. She might lick you to death. She might you might drown in her drool. But she was a great dog. I got to give her some love here on the show because, I've talked about some of my other animals, Nanook, Wednesday, Elvira. They're good. I love my animals, but Cujo, man, there was some times. I just gotta say, there was some times when it was just me and Cujo. You know what I mean? And
How long did you have Cujo?
14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, she had lived a long time for a lab, and yeah, like I said, there was just she was one of those dogs that never left you alone. Like she'd be following you to the bathroom and all that. And there might have been times, I'm not gonna lie, here or there where it was like, following me around everywhere. But to be honest, it was a comfort. And it's kind of like it's not kind of like I spent 2 weeks in mourning.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I miss her. I miss her a lot. But I'm feeling better about the whole thing, and I needed some time because, there's nothing worse. Like, we could get on here and podcast. I mean, that's not like we podcast out of our studios that we built in our own house. Like, it's not that difficult to like just roll out of bed and do a podcast, but there's just something to it when you don't feel like talking to anybody, and then you gotta, like, when we were on the radio, I'm sure you did shows when you were sick or you didn't feel good, like mentally, physically, and sometimes those might be some of your best shows because you're trying very hard to not like let anybody notice that you're not feeling good or whatever,
Right.
But with the podcast, it's like we do this because we love it. We do it for fun. We'd love to do it because we were making some money on it, but we're
One
not.
day.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But so it's just one of those things where like I didn't want to come with it halfway.
Right.
And like sometimes your brain just is in a fog, and you're like I don't even know what we're going to talk about this week because I just checked out like the whole week. You know what I mean? So. I only bring this up. I'm not trying to bring everybody down, but I know that there's other people out there who relate, who go through the same thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of letting y'all know that we do too,
Right. Shoot, my boss was telling me once his dogs pass away, they're going to be cremated and going to be buried with him whenever he dies. So, it's kind of sweet because animals are a big part of our lives, especially if you had them for 14 years. It's like, a child to you. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens. I'm pretty sure when my dog passes away, I'm probably going to pull a Kevin Smith and do a live and all that stuff. Yeah, because I mean, again, it's it's part of the grieving process. So yeah, I mean, take all the time you need off. I know a lot of people have taken time off from work because their dogs or cats or whatever animal that they had passed away. So yeah, it's natural, man. It's natural for sure.
Ooh, the other day, man, I was at the restaurant. People probably don't know this, but I work a little part-time at my friend. He opened up a restaurant, and well, he didn't open it up. He bought one that was in existence forever. Actually, Tasty Burger in Choctaw. Go have a burger in Choctaw. Cool. And a Cameo, if you go tell him that Brad Reed sent you, I'll make it on the house.
Ooh,
only
nice.
For Cameo though. Everybody else, if you tell them Nerds to Men sent you, I'll try to figure out like a discount or something.
Yeah.
So, but Tasty Burger in Choctaw. But like I've been helping out a few nights a week. Just he bought the business, and I've been helping him out. He's been helping me out, and but the other day, man, I don't know, like it was just one of those days, and I was sitting there like in the back, like cutting potatoes, like I miss my dog,
Right. Yeah.
like trying to hide it from everybody else. Like I'm not crying. Like
right.
Maybe I should have been like, put me on the onion cutting today. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Put me on onions, but Brad, you're cutting potatoes.
Yeah.
Like
put me on jalapeno duty today, because it's just gonna be coming. But
right.
yeah, that's what's up. But you mentioned that about your friend. That is exactly because Salem. You remember Salem, my bulldog. Like Salem and Cujo were like the OG dogs. Like
they really were.
They were from because Salem was 13 when she passed away a few years ago, and it's the dogs themselves are like they're part of the family. Like they grew up with my kids, and so when the dogs pass away, and then the kids are all moved out, it's like, man, it's the end of an era, and that makes it a little more sad. But I had Salem cremated. I had Cujo cremated. I'm gonna get one of those little necklaces.
Oh yeah,
that holds the ashes, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of Cujo and Salem in there so that they're with me all the time.
Right.
And then when I die, y'all can put my ashes wherever. I don't know. Like you could, if you want a little bit of them. I told Jen though, because she's like, I'm gonna spread them out like everywhere, and I was like, I don't know how that works when Jesus comes back. I want my ashes to all be in the same place, so I'm not scattered around trying to figure out how to like reassemble. You know what I mean?
Well,
she said it won't matter though.
It won't matter because God has a very good memory.
Yeah,
it remembers who you are. So it doesn't matter where you come from. If it's from Timbuktu to I don't know Antarctica, you'll be
God's
fine.
got
you'll
me.
Be good.
God's got me.
Right. You'll be perfect. So you'll be all right. You won't be missing a fingernail or anything like that.
Yeah. Like, man, I'm almost like complete, but part of me still floating around the Mississippi River.
Right.
Well, because the reason I say
I got a bald spot right here on my beard. I was like, what?
Yeah. Like in New Orleans, I saw this on a show. Like, I guess once a year, people that have passed away, they have like this deal where like they'll take like their ashes or whatnot and like put them in the Mississippi, or they'll put like other things that maybe represent them or something. I'm not like, I don't know the whole story, but I was like, Jen, I'd like to do that, like, or throw me in like a little puddle on Bourbon Street, But gotta be like, nah, that part has to stay on Bourbon Street, cause
you better hope it's just an eyelash, not anything else.
Oh man, you know what else God wants you to do? Hit like and subscribe right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Meow.
Yeah, it's the 11th commandment. It's not one that'll like, it's not like one that you really have to do. It's just encouraged.
Very highly encouraged.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Today.
Do it.
Please.
Do it.
Por favor.
Yes. All right, Cameo. We got some nerd updates. We got, man, some good news, some bad news. We'll hit them all. So I say we get into it.
Yeah, because I want to talk about.
Okay. All right. Well, I sent you over a few things, so we'll start with this news. It's a small bit of news, but I thought it was interesting. Tron 3 expected to begin filming soon. And have you heard who will be the star of Tron 3?
No, I have not.
Oh man, it's the franchise killer, Jared Leto.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like we've talked about this a lot. I'm a big fan of Jared Leto. This though, Tron, like the second movie, I wasn't even into.
I wasn't either.
And now that they've said we're gonna do another one, and we got Jared Leto in it, I'm just like, man, Jared, stick to the movies. He's really good at like serious type movies, I feel like. But these franchises that are kind of like action or comic book, man, I just don't know. I don't feel like they give him enough that really show what he can and is capable of doing. And then when the movie's not that good to begin with, he comes off looking like he's not like the good actor that I believe him to be. What do you think? Do you think he's a good actor? Do you think that I give him more credit than he deserves?
No, I think he's a really good actor. I just don't think action movies is his chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there are some actors that can do everything. And there's some actors that can't do everything. For the longest time, I remember when the Truman Show came out, all I remember Jim Carrey doing was comedic stuff. Comedic movies, obviously comedic shows, and Living Color. And when I first saw the Truman Show, which was kind of, a more serious role, I was like, I didn't like it. I enjoy it now for what it is because, I've seen Jim Carrey do other things other than his comedic roles. For example, was it 23, number 23 or whatever it was called, the scary horror film? I saw that.
More like a suspense film, I would say.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Love that movie. But I was a lot older when I saw that too. So there's just certain things that people can do and some things you can't do.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ahead.
Well, I was just
gonna say Jared Leto. I just don't think he's a action star person.
Yeah. I wonder because I feel like Jim Carrey's a kind of a decent comparison, but then you have like movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and that was a great movie. So
yeah, it was awesome.
So, but let's just ask ourselves this question. Had Jim Carrey began his career with movies like 23 and Eternal Sunshine and all those instead of the blockbuster films he kind of came into the, with Dumb and Dumber and the
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Yeah. The Mask. If he hadn't started off like that, would he be like the big phenomenon he is to where people would still say like, hey, let's go see Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because it's got a guy like Jim Carrey in it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he still would have been as big as he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's something about Jim Carrey that, and I'm not saying Jared Leto isn't hungry for anything. I just think that Jared Leto has an idea in his head how some things should go. And in reality, he wants to put more into something. And there's that saying, less is more. Like there was really no reason for him to, be the way that he was with the Joker. There was really no reason. And, I don't know. I don't know if I can really say that I blame Jared Leto for Morbius's failure, but I just think that Morbius wasn't something that anybody needed at this point in time.
And is the blame with Jared Leto though? Because like again, you got Morbius, which I just thought was not a well-written movie either. Like it wasn't a very captivating movie. Then David Ayer has said several times that, you know, we didn't get the Joker he intended. In Suicide Squad, and we didn't get the movie that was intended. So sometimes I wonder, and like I don't necessarily have a problem with what he did with the Joker, because what are you gonna do? Like the same Joker every time? But it was kind of like you would have to nail that Joker like 100% to carry that off, to pull it off, because it's such a different kind of like the Joker. Again, we've talked about this before, and this isn't a Joker segment, but you know, the Joker, like in The Dark Knight, where he's burning the pile of cash. That's my Joker. He's like, you know, the not narcissist Joker, but you know, he doesn't care about anything.
Right.
He doesn't care about money. And this Joker, Jared Leto's, he's kind of said, you know, he's embraced the gangster lifestyle. But if you look at the Tim Burton Joker, he had too. He was like
Jack Nicholson was a great, you know, version of a gangster Joker.
Yeah. So
I just think that the whole, you know, grill that he had, the tattoos, you know, the tattoos really didn't bother me. It was the fact of how he acted. That wasn't, I know there's like several different Joker interpretations. Yeah. But it just wasn't any, and I know he wanted to bring his own flair to it, which is fine. You should do that with your characters, but less is more in this, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And then he was definitely, I feel like he was definitely channeling some Jim Carrey when he's like, "You handsome hunka."
Right. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Joker. Yeah, I don't want to, like I said, this isn't a Joker segment, but you know, with Jared Leto being in Tron, maybe this could, you know, give me hope for him. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I won't knock it until I try it.
Okay. I agree, but I'm not that excited. Just so everybody knows. Here's another good news that came out. We got some Academy Award nominations, and The Batman picked up 3 Academy Award nominations. Not for the ones that I would have hoped, like Best Picture or, you know, Best Director or anything like that, but to say that The Batman could be an Oscar award-winning movie might not be, you know, out there, because they were nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which, you know, some of that makes me think like The Penguin. How they turned Colin Farrell like so unrecognizable, right? Without like making it look like over the top makeup or anything like that. I'm wondering if that's what got them that nomination, or it could just be Robert Pattinson has great hair. So, best sound
and you know, eyeliner too.
Yeah. Best sound and best visual effects they're nominated for, which the visual effects, man, like in a year where you had multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I thought the visual effects were cool in this movie, but
not on Multiverse of Madness level.
No. So, but hey,
we'll see.
I hope they win. I hope they win.
But speaking of the Academy Awards, Wakanda Forever, has what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 nominations. They are Best Original Song, Best Supporting Actress for Angela Bassett. What else? Where did it go? Oh, Best Costume Design, Visual Effects, and Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
Nice.
And I think that was just 5. Sorry.
So Wakanda Forever and the Batman's gonna face off. Ooh, I might have to give it to Wakanda Forever.
If you want to talk about best costume design, obviously, if it was between them two, Wakanda Forever.
But best makeup and hairstyling, that's the one that they're directly up against each other, right?
Oh, you did say that. Sorry.
Because I'm thinking with makeup and hairstyle, like that's got to go to Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many different hairstyles. So many, like if you're talking about like prosthetic type stuff
and makeup,
but if you're doing like makeup, definitely Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree.
If it was between them two. Now, I don't know who the other nominees are in those categories, but if out of those two, Wakanda Forever steals it.
I have to say, yeah. I mean, and then it might just be because Wakanda Forever just was more spectacular, and the Batman was more downplayed as far as the looks and everything and the makeup. But I'd have to go with Wakanda Forever. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. This news might also kind of bring you down. It's not the biggest bummer of the news stories so far, but I'm not sure how I feel about this. We are both excited that Daredevil Born Again is coming back, but they recently added a few writers that kind of made me think, oh God. Jill Blankenship, and I'm not sure if you say it Grainy or whatever, but we'll just say Grainy Godfrey. Jill is one of the writers on Arrow, and also on a spinoff that never happened called Naomi.
Oh, it did happen.
Oh, it did? Or did it get canceled though?
It probably got canceled.
Okay.
But yeah, Naomi did happen though.
Oh, okay. And then Godfrey is a writer on Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. So when you've heard that the tone of Daredevil Born Again is going to be not as dark and gritty as the Netflix version, and now you're hearing that they're bringing in people from the Arrowverse and Legends of Tomorrow. Jesus, like I don't know that I want to watch the show anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I do not know.
If it's gonna get all CW, I'm out.
Well, we got to look at like the first few seasons of Arrow, though. The first few seasons of Arrow were top notch, and so was the Flash.
Yeah. But they.
And I would
go ahead.
Now, and I was going to say too, that first season of DC or Legends of Tomorrow was okay. Then it just got weirder after that, and not so good. But I will have to say I will watch it.
Yeah,
and I know obviously you will too, because I mean Daredevil is a wonderful character, and then the way that Netflix handled the show, 3 seasons. I mean, I loved all 3 seasons of Daredevil. So I just wish we would have gotten more during Netflix time. With all the acquisitions from Disney and Marvel and all that fun stuff. We just got to see what it is on Disney Plus now. And I did read that Charlie Cox basically has said that he wants Daredevil to be the same Daredevil that we saw and fell in love with. I just hope that it stays that way.
I don't think it is. I also have heard that it's going to be more of a lot of stuff. It's going to be more around him being a lawyer and being in the courtroom. But let me ask you this. Let me go back to a point you made. Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, which I know you can't tell me that, but any of their seasons better than any of the Daredevil seasons?
No, there's no comparison.
Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like, I don't know. That'd be like having like a championship team. Like, let's just say the Warriors. Let's use basketball, for example. Because we did sports on the last nerd update and people loved it.
Right.
But let's say you have the Warriors, right? And then you're like, hey, let's bring in some more players to make this season even better. And then they just bring in like the worst players from the worst team. That's how I view this. And I'm sorry, Jill Blankenship and Grain Godfrey, like that's rude of me to say. It really is. But those shows, like if they were gonna write on any other show, great, cool, and like they might make it awesome. I could be full of crap here, but if they're gonna bring the vibe of the CW to Daredevil, that's what I'm worried about. Real hard.
I really hope not, because the tone should have been or should stay the same, if not grittier, because of how things ended in the last season of Daredevil. And I will say, as gritty as you can be on TV for the CW, I think the first 2 seasons of Arrow could be close, like no cigar by any means, could be, basically could hold a candle to the Netflix show. I hope that, because if you're going to do something kind of like funny, like The Flash, then you're obviously going to have to bring in some like She-Hulk. You'll have to bring in She-Hulk for those type of episodes. But I don't know. I mean, the way that Arrow ended and the way, The Flash hasn't ended yet, but this is the last season, which, comes to the CW next Wednesday, February 8th. So we'll see how the final season goes for that. But DC Legends of Tomorrow, I know I read that clip you gave me, and it was 20 episodes of DC's Legends of Tomorrow. That's a lot. That's a lot of episodes.
And that show was terrible. So, I'm sorry.
And it was. As a whole, that show was horrible.
And I hate to go back and do the revisionist history, because I did enjoy Arrow for the first few seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I look back at it, I feel like, oh, well, it was just a good substitute. Like, Arrow was just a substitute for Batman. We all know this.
Right.
And I don't know. It doesn't excite me at all to hear the news that's been coming out about Daredevil. I just got to say. It doesn't excite me. Yeah. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. I hope I'm real wrong.
Yeah, let's hope.
But I might end up just have to watch the Netflix show. Well, did they take it off of Netflix, right? Is it on Disney now? Or can you...
Daredevil, yeah. Daredevil, okay. Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, The Defenders, and Luke Cage are all on Disney Plus right now.
Did they change it? Did they take anything out? Like, spoilers, did they, like, when...
the coffee breaks?
No. Yeah. No, like, what was Vince D'Onofrio's character? Oh, man.
I haven't seen that part yet. I haven't rewatched it.
Well, that was in the first season, though, right? Scene? When he chops his head off, basically, the dude's head off with the car door.
Yeah. Well, the
is that in Disney Plus?
I think it is, but I think it has. You have to have an adult password to it. Plus, because on mine is the only account that has a password protected.
Mm-hmm.
So you can watch, Daredevil. You can watch those those shows that were on Netflix, but you can't watch them on any of the other accounts that I have set up on there.
Got you. Well, like I say, not that excited about Daredevil, but I will watch it, and I hope I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to finish at least my nerd update part on a down note for some of you.
Oh, no.
But I got to say, Cameo, we did an episode a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, where we talked about the first couple episodes of Doom Patrol. And we talked about how I hadn't been watching Titans since the first couple episodes. And you told me it went on break, and I was like, I'm staying on break. And Doom Patrol is a good one, though. I like Doom Patrol, although sometimes, like, I'm like, man, I feel like a lot of these shows are trying to be the same now, like The Boys and Doom Patrol, and like they've done everything else, and now it's like, let's just be shocking, like Doom Patrol but Doom Patrol does it in a really funny way. And of course I love The Boys, so I'm not trashing on either of those shows, but I don't know, like I'm kind of getting bored of that too. Like Doom Patrol with its walking around butts and stuff. Like it's funny, but
yeah.
I'm also 43 years old, and like that's not my humor as much anymore sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
they're both getting canceled, Doom Patrol and Titans. And I think I called this a few shows ago too. And not like I got any kind of connections or psychic abilities. I figured that it was easy to see with all the shakeups going on with DC that a complete overhaul would be best for what they're seemingly going to do.
Yeah.
But are you going to miss either of these? Are you going to miss either of these shows?
At the way that, unless Titans pick up, the second part of the season, yeah. Doom Patrol, like you said, I am kind of fatigued on the goofiness of it. But again, I'm not a big Doom Patrol comic book reader, so I don't know their adventures, their things like that. So, for what it is, I do like the show, and I will miss it for sure. But I will say that, it is inevitable that it was going to happen because of all the shakeups that WB and DC are doing right now. That it seems like if you like something, be prepared to be disappointed.
Don't like it for long.
Right. But wait, are you done on that note?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I was just gonna say that my feeling about Doom Patrol and Titans, Doom Patrol I feel like could have still existed in the DC in whatever they're gonna do going forward, because it's like, other than Cyborg, everybody else is not like any toys that they're going to use going forward for anything big. So they could maybe have Cyborg leave and they could have kept it. But Titans got to go. Okay, it's got to go. So that's the end of the Doom Patrol and all that. I will just say too, it just right now it's kind of sucks to be a DC fan, because like I wasn't impressed with a lot of the CW stuff after a while. I'm not impressed necessarily with, and again, these are still Berlanti properties, and it might be good going forward because maybe they are like not going to do any more Greg Berlanti stuff.
Yeah.
However, it's like you can't even like, if you like, did you like The Rock in Black Adam?
Black Adam.
Yeah, I loved it. Or I can't wait to see the next movie with him and Henry Cavill. Nope, not gonna happen. Shazam. I think Shazam's probably gonna be done after this movie, and now everybody's mad at Zachary Levi. Did you see that?
Oh,
Oh God, I don't even want to. Like, we're not gonna go into this, but he made a post.
What are people mad at?
He made a post. Somebody made a post saying, do you think Pfizer, who makes all the vaccines and all these other drugs and stuff, is an evil corporation or whatever? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. But he didn't say it. He didn't say anything about vaccinations. He didn't, specify. And of course now everybody on Twitter is ripping them apart and saying they should cancel Shazam and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why do we have to have all these politics involved? And even if, why can't a guy say he's not into big pharma,
right,
and not get ripped apart? It just sucks. It just sucks. Like, there's no joy in being a DC fan right now. Like,
none.
I'm a Snyderverse guy, but I also felt like it didn't have to be Snyderverse or bust. I see the problems with the Snyderverse. I see how that doesn't appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
But why can't we just have stuff that we like and then enjoy it, and not try to tear apart everybody because they have an opinion that's just different than yours,
Right.
All right, that's enough. You got some more nerd updates before we get on
Yeah,
out
I got
of here?
some decent news.
Okay, hit me.
So if you are an Aquaman fan, Jason Momoa is staying as Aquaman.
I heard that, but I don't know that that's what that means.
And possibly some other characters.
Lobo.
More than likely.
Okay, so when he says I'll always be Aquaman, I feel like that's how like my my stepdad was like, I'll always be your stepdad. And then I never heard from him ever again after you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well, at least you got the good type of stepdad. I have an actual dad that's just asking me for money. So
yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, like he vanished on me. Okay, like I'll always be your stepdad, and then poof, he gone. So I wonder if that's how Jason Momoa means it. Like like I'll always be Aquaman. But will he always be Aquaman?
Well, because he did say that nobody's going to take that away from him. So
but again,
I guess I can see that point as well. Yeah,
they could never take away the fact that he was Aquaman, and as long as he considers himself Aquaman, then he can be Aquaman. But that don't mean we're getting another Aquaman movie with Jason Momoa.
That's also true.
That's just how I read that. I'm not sure because I know a lot of people kind of said the same thing, like, "Oh, great, we're getting another," but I don't even think we're going to see Ezra Miller stay as the Flash. I've told you that too. I think all of this stuff is just stuff that they're saying for now so that everybody doesn't, and I think that they've already got this problem and they're just trying to do whatever they can. But I feel like if they come out right now and say Jason Momoa's out as Aquaman, Ezra Miller's out as the Flash, Henry Cavill's out as Superman, then nobody's going to go see that Flash movie. Nobody.
Right.
So I still think that Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa are out. Now, I do think Jason Momoa could end up being recast as somebody else.
Yeah, possibly.
But that was my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's some other stuff, but
I'm pessimist. I'm sorry. I'm a pessimist guy.
Now you're good.
But I do love news about the boys. The boys.
Yeah. So get ready for season 4.
Yes.
The producer is claiming that we're probably going to see the most disgusting thing that has ever been seen on TV.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to happen.
I don't either, especially after what happened last season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But another cool thing about The Boys is that it outperformed all of the Marvel shows.
Really?
In views.
I believe it.
I believe it too.
The Boys.
I believe it too. The Boys. But yeah, I can't wait for that season to come back out, or the 4th season to not come back out, but come out. So I don't know. I don't know how crazier you can get on The Boys.
Dude. Don't ask. Just don't ask, because we'll get after last season, I don't want to know.
Right.
But I can't wait to see what they've got in mind. I can't wait.
Right. Where's this other thing? Oh, okay.
And I just want to say, because I had mentioned The Boys earlier, saying I was getting a little fatigued at like the bad suit.
Mm-hmm.
Not The Boys though, because they do it so good.
Yeah, and it's almost refreshing how different it is than from Marvel and DC.
And it's kind of a satire of all those characters and stuff that goes on in real life. So I feel like it pulls it off a little bit more entertainingly or something. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Cameo.
Yeah. Do you remember playing GoldenEye?
I loved GoldenEye.
Well, did you know that you can get it on Xbox Game Pass and Nintendo Switch right now?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Yeah, it came out on the 27th this month. Wow. And I got a Switch, and I think I might download it.
I'll have to get it on Game Pass. Well, I don't have Game Pass anymore. Can I just get the game though?
Probably.
Is it remastered or is it just like?
Yeah, I think it is remastered.
Nice.
Now, how good the remastered is, I don't know if it's like, playing Call of Duty or something like that. I don't know if it's anything like that.
Yeah. I don't need it to be like completely different than the original because I love that game.
That man, I wasn't good at it, but it just because I was never really good at first person shooter games ever.
Yeah.
But me and my friends would play it, so it's like I want it just for nostalgic reasons.
How do you play Fortnite then? Because I saw that you play Fortnite. Fortnite to me is one of the hardest games because it's like Call of Duty. I got good at some of the Call of Duty games, but if I don't like play all the time, I'm not that good at it. But like Fortnite, you got to like build a house around you while you're trying to shoot people and shoot other gamers. Let's just say, I don't know. They
changed that up, so you don't have to do. There's builds, which is what you're talking about, and then there's zero builds.
Oh,
so you don't have to worry about those things anymore if you're a zero build person, because that's how I am.
Yeah,
I can't build worth a lick.
Yeah, Fortnite is
barely even.
Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say. Go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. You got it. All you.
I was gonna say I could barely play that game as well, and it's a third person game. So like me trying to attack somebody and build in the next second is impossible for me. I can't do that.
Fortnite is the first game that made me feel old. You know what I mean? Because like all my nephews and stuff are like, "Oh, I'll build a mansion right now," and still pop you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, I barely got like a wall up, and I ran out of ammo, and now I'm dead. I'm unalived.
Yeah.
So, but back to GoldenEye. Like that was the first. We've talked about like how my attention span does not allow me to finish video games. GoldenEye is the first and maybe one of only like a couple. I try to think maybe like any others off the top of my head, but actually GoldenEye is the first game I ever like played beginning to end.
Yeah.
And then of course you had like the other games you could play with your friends. That's now like every game, but back then that was cool because you had the story and like the one you could play with your buddies. And I loved GoldenEye, man. That game was awesome. So
yeah, that game was awesome.
I have to get it. It's gonna be dope.
There is something else. We're going to talk about this later in the show, but The Last of Us is coming back for a second season.
I saw that. 3 episodes out, and they're like, "Hey, we love it. Everybody loves it."
Right. There wasn't any doubt that I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
There's two very successful video games. Now, granted, I don't know what the second season is really going to be about because we haven't finished the first season. And I'm not sure how far and how deep they're going to be going into the game, because if you played the first game, Joel and Ellie make it all the way to the Fireflies, who are basically going to.
Are you going to have to throw out some spoilers? Should we?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to. I'll just say this because I don't like if you didn't play the video game and you're watching the show, I don't want to screw anything up for you, so I won't do anything like that. So I will say I'm not sure if the first season is going to be all about the first video game. And then the second season, we're going to pick up where the second video game started, or if we're going to see half of the video game in season 1, and then we're going to see the second half in the second season. Yeah. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. But again, we're only 3 episodes in. And I will say, I can't wait for second season. And first season's not even done yet.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this because we're going to talk about Last of Us during Nerdflix and Chill, the first 3 episodes. But be careful if you haven't played the game, because I've played the game, I haven't finished the game, so I wasn't aware of a few things. And when I was reading people's opinions on Even like last night's episode 3. There were spoilers galore out there. I was like, y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me. Of course, you don't know what they're gonna. There was definitely some differences between what they did in the episode last night and the video game itself. So they're not totally sticking to the video game,
right?
But we'll just leave it at that. Just be careful.
And I did hear Neil Druckmann talk about that as well. And the way that they're handling the show is that if what they did in the video game, if that doesn't fit the progression of the show, then they'll take that out. If it will help the show progress, they'll take some of the game, not take the footage from the game, but they'll use those same scenes for the show. So I think that's pretty cool. I do like that they are changing things up a little bit, because I mean, if you play the game, which most people have that are watching the show, they're not going to want to basically rewatch a live action video game.
Right. Well, so, because that's the thing. If you played the game, you're going to have some deviations, or else what's the point in watching the show otherwise?
Right.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, I believe that's our nerd update. Stay tuned for a few more. We're going to drop our Nerds to Men on films this week. We'll be talking about You People. Just came out on Netflix.
What you mean, You People?
Oh, I knew it.
Dang, Brad.
What do you mean, you people?
Man. I thought we talked about this, man.
What was the name of that song that they were listening to? Eddie Murphy and anyway, let's but yeah, we'll have that, and then in our Nerdflix and Chill, we'll tell you what to be watching, and we'll tell you we're gonna go a little deeper into Last of Us, Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne, and we'll talk a little bit about that 90s show. Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
Be looking for that. That'll be coming out this week as we do. So Make sure you like and subscribe. That way you get notified when all these episodes drop.
That's right.
Drop? What's that from?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot.
The Beastie Boys.
Yes.
They're coming home. They're coming home. That's our outro song right there.
Oh, okay.
The Nerds to Men, they're coming home. You like it? Am I on? My wife always says I'm an octave off.
My wife?
Yeah. And what does she say? Like I'm tone deaf and an octave off or something like that. Anytime I sing.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
she makes me sad. All right, that's it for Nerd Update this week, Cameo.
All righty.